One Love Center community. Wherever you are, know that we are welcoming you into our Sunday celebration. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome to One Love Center. If you've been a member for One Love Center for a long time, welcome back. And now what we're going to do is go to what we usually do, our song of One Love Center.
Oh, 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 yeah. There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the One Love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, one love, one life, one life, one life, one spirit divine, yeah. One heart, one light, one life, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the sacred space, where we honor every face, the splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do, learning, growing, hand in hand, together we will understand, prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one light, one spirit divine, one heart, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home to one love, home to one love. Welcome home to one love, where love grows, yeah. To one love.
One love, for sure. Yes, it is. Yes, we are. And so are you. We are all the One Love. I'm Rev Rodney. Again, welcome. Thank you, Ellen, for opening up the wonderful session. And we're going to now get into our welcome, our mission statement, our vision. And we are knowing that we are here to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. Also, we envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of the learning and the application of spiritual principles. That's what it's about. Also, our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebrations, classes, workshops, and spiritual services, compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. And so we welcome everyone. We welcome all of those who are joining us for the first time. We welcome those who have been with us for all this time. And we welcome those who you will be sharing this with. So please know that we support you in being the best that you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows. Welcome to One Center. At this time, it's prayer time. Well, sure, every time is prayer time. However, we are going to invite a wonderful guest for today, and that is the Reverend Faye. Faye, and let me just bring her up here, and there she is. All right, so
Hello,
uh,
everybody.
oh, great, we can hear you perfectly, fine and
Okay.
well, excellent, good, good, good. So Faye is going to location. Take it away.
Let us go within, just taking a moment to exhale out everything that came before this moment, knowing that there is only now. And as we come together at this time to explore doubt and how we can use that to explore opportunities through our imagination and curiosity. I know that this time is blessed. I'll call it good, and we affirm it together by saying, and so it is, and now it is.
And so it is, and now it is. Wonderful. Thank you. And so right now, we're going to actually just jump right into the conversation. And we also have Ellen Suazo, who will be joining us. And yeah, so basically, we're looking today at this particular topic. You know, we've been exploring divine doubt, and how do we apply this to work in our communities? So this week we're using our doubt, as we already heard in the prayer, to engage with wonder and curiosity. And basically, we're looking at how we use this to build webs of love and respect in our organizations, and most certainly Centers for Spiritual Living, and wherever we are engaged in our community and our organizations. So again, welcome. And it's very interesting because here is the topic, communal uncertainty. And the whole month, we've been using these track terms like on your mark, get ready, get set, and now it's go. So, so during this month, we've been getting ready, we've been getting set, and you know we're on the mark. We get ready, we get set. Now it's time to go. How do we use this doubt in when we uncover communal uncertainty? So it's very interesting because first we have to really talk about what is communal uncertainty. We know what uncertainty looks like on an individual level, is right? So now we have to explore, well, what does it look like for us in our community? And again, we still have to start with who we are. And so, you know, as a community, both in individual communities and worldwide organizations, what doubts and uncertainties does your organization, I don't mean just you, Reverend Faye, or me, you know, our organizations express? You know, are we hiding anything? Meaning, are we aware and we hide it anyway? You know, what doubts and uncertainties might our organization address for the good of all? And so that's kind of like what we're working with right now. And it's interesting because we may not know all those answers. You know, what are we aware of? And folks, I really believe that anytime we look at groups or communities, organizations, we can also look at our family. We can also, you know, look at our circle of friends and apply the same questions and look for the same answers. So that's one thing. So we don't have to necessarily stay stuck on the organization because sometimes it's so big we don't get to see all of that. we don't get to experience a lot of that uncertainty and doubt. We just know what's happening and don't know, where it might be coming from the leadership or, from the members. So, So basically for me, and I look at family, one of the doubts and that showed up is sharing what might be perceived as imperfection. In other words, not wanting to let anybody know, oh my gosh, that I'm not perfect, my family's not perfect. Oh my goodness, and I think that might be even a more common one where families try to act like everything is okay, try to cover it up, cover it over, talk around it, and in the meantime, there may be suffering going on. There
Mhm.
if nothing else, it's just that the family unit may not be operating to peak efficiency, you know, as long as nobody knows. Any comments, Reverend Faye, before we jump in?
Yeah, when I think about the communal uncertainty, when I think about everything that's going on in society, with the current president and the redlining or them redrawing the lines and all the things. And there's a lot of uncertainty, even though we say, we believe certain things, that there's only one God, one power, one life. But we move and interact with each other, as if God is not all there is,
Mm.
that there are two powers. So I think for me, that's what comes up more than anything. And even when I think about, family, the family dynamic, where there are some people in my family, I speak for my family, where they're quick to talk about what, certain people, groups of people are doing, and as if we have no power, we have no hope and no way of getting around it, when principle is not bound by precedent. And so again, it goes back to God is all there is. All that stuff that's going on out there, that has no power over me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good way individually, to have that awareness. And yeah, there are unfortunately people who, they believe in more than one power. They wouldn't put it in those words. What is the God of their life? What is that power in their life where they feel they have no control over their own lives? And that is, and when, as you mentioned, nations as well. There is most certainly a communal uncertainty. There's doubt. The main doubt, and you touched on it, is that we are not one. That we are not all one,
Yeah,
and
belief is
therefore,
separation.
right, coming from a place, a mindset of separation for eons. People who are just not used to feeling at one with their neighbor, with their family, with their friends, with
Mhm.
I mean, feeling separate and apart from everyone on the planet, including four-legged, winged, just not feeling one with everything, and
Right.
therefore even the planet, like not feeling at one with the universe, with the galaxy, with the universe, and that, yeah, that most certainly is an issue and there is obviously doubt, because if we were certain uh, that we were one, we wouldn't be acting the way we do.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So, it's important that we have been addressing the individual, how it lands on us individually, but now, um, with that in mind, how it affects the community at large and how the community at large affects the individual. Okay? So that's what we're looking at today. And of course, we're free to vamp and talk about whatever we want to talk about. But those are the parameters, and we are free. So we're going to jump into the first quote that we have, and let's take a look. Let's see. I'll start it, I think. Yeah, here it is. It says, "The one who wishes to demonstrate some particular good must become conscious of this particular good if they wish to experience it. Therefore, they must make their mind receptive to it, and they must do this consciously." That's Ernest Holmes, founder of Religious Science, Science of Mind. And this is from the textbook, The Science of Mind, the definite edition, page 324. And so, yeah, that's definitely sounds like a solution, because no change is going to happen in the macro unless it happens first in the micro. We've got to work on ourselves individually, become conscious of this particular good individually and collectively. And that's how this lands for me. It said they must make their mind receptive to it. Yes, we all in our community, in our circle, must be receptive to that particular good. And it also takes a belief. It's not just being open. We got to believe it and act like we believe it. And what I like to say, that word believe, I change it to be live. We need to be living it. Believe it. And you know how you believe it? How you be living.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Any comment on that quote? Or maybe the reflection?
It says, in what ways might my current thoughts be blocking rather than receiving that good? Well, I would first say not being clear, not knowing what it is that I want to receive or experience. Then the next thing I would say is thinking that conditions matter, that this can't happen because that hasn't happened, or I haven't done this. And no, it's about alignment
Right.
and receiving and allowing the good to come, not getting in the way, not feeling like my credit's bad, so I can't get this new car. Like, none of that matters.
And it's interesting because it does extend to the greater, of our community, where people make decisions based like on that
On
limited
conditions.
thinking,
Yep.
that limited belief. And so they're limited in how they be living. So,
Wallace D. Waddles talks about condition-based thinking versus creative thought. So yeah.
yeah. All right. So let's take on the next one, and you can jump on that. Can you? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to zoom in.
Okay.
Whatever spirituality is, it is not something to be discovered. It is something to be recovered, something you misplace and recover 1,000 times in a lifetime. That's by Eileen R. Campbell Reed, Pastoral Imagination, Bringing the Practice of Ministry to Life.
Okay. Any comment on not something to be discovered? That spirituality.
It's beautiful. She beautifully said it. It just is. And it's about us really tapping in and tuning into that aspect of ourselves that are already spiritual beings, and connecting with um, our environment from that perspective. Everything is spiritual. And so am I engaging life, as the sacred?
And as you mentioned earlier, it's also about clarity. It's also about knowing that what our truth is, because it's, as it says in the quote, nothing to be discovered. It's only what we are recovering.
Mhm.
Now, I would say yes in a way because and that we misplaced. However, how many of us don't know that we, have it
Right.
already? It's like we don't know what we don't know, you know, or we know it and don't know that we know it. And so I think that's the biggest issue. And so we're not even thinking that there's anything to recover. And so therefore, I belong to, I've been in many spiritual paths, and of course they all lead to the same place. However, one of them in 12-step practice, sometimes people say, I got to get spiritual. And I get to remind people that you don't have to get spiritual. It's not something
Right.
that you're going to get. You are it. You have it.
Right.
It's a spiritual program for spiritual people. And basically, it's uncovering your spirituality to our own self. And it happens, again, on the macro. Religions basically are spiritually based. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff gets covered over that in order to, in other, for other reasons, to keep people together, to worship together, to exist together, to eat together, to protect themselves together. All of that happens through religion. And so spirituality gets covered up. The main thing is we got to survive. We we can't let somebody get this, or and we don't want to give that. So all that gets in the way of the real reason that we are together. And so I love that quote because it's not actually misplaced, but it says recover 1,000 times in a lifetime. That's like every day. I know that at some point in that day, I need a reminder that, oh, wait, I'm a spiritual being. I belong
Right.
from a spiritual community, all of us as one is a spiritual community. And I need a reminder. So the reflection is, how might I treat spirituality less as something to achieve and more as something already present within me? And how might I treat spirituality less? And more is daily practice. It's how I see myself in the mirror. I see myself as love, and I hold that to a high level, so much so that when I see somebody else in whatever community I'm in, I see them as love as well. And so again, it's not like I have to get love in order to be love. I am love. I'm already being love. I just need to remember that and act like I know it. And then we get to do that greater and greater volume of people, of consciousness operating together. Any comments on that?
It makes me think of when you said be living. That's it to me, is how am I living? How am I allowing my spiritual aspect? Here we say spirit human. We're spirit human.
Mhm.
And so really stepping into the spirit aspect of me, God as me, like in every aspect.
Mhm. And folks, please forgive me. I did not properly introduce Reverend Faye. We're in the midst of some technical difficulties. However, Reverend Faye is an assistant minister at CSL Dallas in Dallas, Texas. She's rather accomplished, and she's been at that center for many years, and she's kind of grown up in this teaching there. And she works with the youth, and she's does a lot there, as I got to witness, and a wonderful addition there. I attended the installation of their new minister, and that was awesome. And that is Marquita, Reverend
Yeah,
Marquita.
McAllister.
Yes, thank you. Um, and so wonderful. And so Reverend Faye is a very strong member of that community. Yeah. So we'll go
Thank
on
you.
to the next one. Was there something else you wanted to say about yourself?
No, that you pretty much said it all.
Trust me, she has a bio like 2 pages long, but I couldn't memorize it. But
My apologies for that.
it's not your fault. No, not at all. That's all on me. That's on me. So that means you just got to get to know her. You got to check her out on the CSL Dallas site, website, or go there. All right, why don't you take this next one?
The moving finger of God in human history points ever in the same direction. There must be community, always in the collective conscience and in the private will. This intent appears and reappears like some fleeting ghost. That's by Howard Thurman, Disciplines of the Spirit. Hmm. I got to sit with that one. The moving
Mm-hmm.
finger of God in human history points ever in the same direction. Wow. It points in the direction of the good,
Mm-hmm.
the ever unfolding good, and that life is for life. It's going to continue to be for life, further expression, further, of life and expansion.
Yes, that's right. And it's the ascension of our spirit, of our conscious awareness of the truth of who we are, rises.
Hmm.
As we continue to connect, as we continue to follow that finger of the divine. It's pointing. I mean, we say up, but in all directions because God is everywhere, and it's
Yes.
pointing within. It's pointing again in all directions, like some fleeting ghost. And it's funny because, yeah, I mean, on our path, I'll speak for myself. On my path, there's times when I feels like I'm not on the path. Uh, I am on the path. Sometimes it just doesn't feel that way. I mean, I might end up watching the news or witness a car accident, and for a moment, I could forget that there's only one life, and that life is God's life. It's perfect, whole, and complete. And what is my place in it is to see only the highest and the best in any and all situations, and of course, people. And so there's a reflection. It says, "Where in my life am I being called to deepen my sense of belonging and shared purpose with others? Where in
Mm.
my life am I not being called?" It's like everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Any comment?
So, where in my life am I being called to deepen my sense of belonging and shared purpose? For me, it's being called within, and I'm constantly looking at life as a mirror, and so to see different things show up in my life experience, and if it ruffles any feathers, it's like, where's that inside of me? Where am I
Mm,
doing that within myself? um because for me, if there's only one of us, one thing, one self, one thing happening, um I can clean it up from within myself, within my consciousness, and shift it so that I can have a different experience.
hmm
And for me, the belonging comes with me being able to see myself in someone else, or to see whatever behaviors that someone may be doing, see it within myself, whether it's good, bad, indifferent. Just being able to be one with the moment and what is, without judgment, and just accept it, and look for the sacred, look for the
mm,
good, look for, The rising, as you spoke of, the opportunity to rise and ascend spiritually.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. And thank you for that. It reminds me of a friend of mine who I started working with, and he has a strong sense of belonging. We've been friends a very long time. And the job is not all that challenging. However, he does find opportunities to complain. And so I see my sense of belonging and shared purpose with him is to do what I do. And that's throw light, on whatever's going on and let him see, like, hey, you know what? There's another way of looking at it. Not the dark side, look at the light side. You'll feel better. Those little nuggets that I get to share with him. And I do that with a lot of people. Not everybody's open, but that doesn't mean that I get to not be open. I just want to also add from Leda Pérez. It says, there's only good, God, in our path, in our direction. Thank you, Leda. Yeah. Thank you
I
for
like
sharing
that.
that. Right. That sums it up pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. So we're going to keep it moving to the next quote. And it says, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love, page 190. And that's what we were talking about earlier, actually. Yeah. So you want to comment on that?
I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, it is the most common way.
Yeah.
And I think about for myself, it took years to accept the fact that I had power in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then that I was actually not using it, which is really what it is. I'm not really giving it away. I'm just not using it. And so other people are using their power in place of my power. And that means they have control over my life. I gave up control over my life.
Mm.
I had the power to give up control of my life. And, but yeah.
And the power to take it back.
Yeah, that's right. At any time, at all times. And our thinking is always the issue. Our thinking is always what needs to be looked at, what needs to be explored. Because for the most part, many people, and I know I was in that number, don't really know how to think. We're just being told what to think and go along with it. And that in and of itself is not using our power.
Right.
Our power to engage our own consciousness, to engage our own heart, our own soul, and live from that place. Like how we be living is how we be thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's take on the next one, moving right along. Okay, go for it.
A season of loneliness and isolation is when the caterpillar gets its wings. Remember that the next time you feel alone. That's by Mandy Hill, the single woman. Life, love, and a dash of sass. Yeah, I agree. I love this quote because it's like when we take time to go within and reflect, the self-reflection allows for the awareness and the rising of consciousness. Um, and so, being alone or taking time to isolate, that's when we go into the cocoon and we're doing all the things, all the magic is happening in the darkness and in the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come out with the wings fluttering and beautiful and vibrant, and alive.
Absolutely. And it is interesting that this calls for faith. It calls for trust. It calls
Mm,
for a strong belief that says, I might be alone right now, but there is something greater evolving for me. And that's where that curiosity comes in. Um, Even with a sense of urgency that I don't know what's around the corner. I doubt that there may be anything good for me because I don't see anything happening right now. Uh, and when we allow ourselves to entertain the doubt, not to ignore it, but to entertain it, it gets to point us, that finger of God in the right direction. As long as we are addressing the doubt, we can't just allow it to to kind of get moldy and fester in the recesses of our brain. It's like, okay, I have a legitimate doubt. I'm not sure. I'm uncertain. And just by addressing it, we'll start to open the doors for a change to occur. As long as we take a look at it. So yeah, and it's that um, remembering that there is greater good happening, even if I can't see it right now. Yeah. So, and if anybody who is watching, feel free to comment. That would be fine. I do see that there are people. I don't know who they are. However, and even if you are watching this later, you can still post remarks, and you can text us or put it into the Facebook for One Love Center. And hey, I was watching that and didn't understand that, or this is what I thought about that during the talk. You can do that. Okay. So we have another quote, and it says, to suppose that one must retire from the world to be spiritual is one of the greatest possible mistakes. Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 373. And yeah, I agree with that. It's we don't have to run and hide in order to find our spirituality, or not participate in the world, because we think that to do so would not be spiritual. It reminds me of meditating, and I like to let people know you can meditate in the middle of Times Square in New York City, amidst all the noise and all that busyness. I mean, we can be still right where we are. We can be spiritual. We can be kind and loving and caring and joyous and free anywhere and everywhere we are. Any comments?
yes. So it's interesting because this quote comes behind the other quote, which talks about isolating.
Mm,
And to me, the same way a caterpillar will keep crawling and eating and all the things, and then it goes into the cocoon until it's ready to come out as a butterfly. I feel like we're each guided to what that looks like, that isolation or that self reflection going within. And at the same time, though, we can still interact with the world. We can still go and do what we need to do, even though there's time that we will set aside to be able to go within and self reflect or
hmm
assess, a situation or um, shifting our consciousness, our perspective about something. So yeah, I find it interesting that this one comes behind the other quote.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we get to grow up. We get to, grow up spiritually. And as a matter of fact, I think we really have to be
Mhm.
somewhat in the world. How's that saying go? Be in the world, but not of it.
Right, be in the world because we are here. We're in the physical plane.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So being of it means we're really being affected by the outer, but being in it means that, hey, we're still the truth of who we are, and we get to be spiritual, in whatever way that looks for us. So yeah. So we're going to go to the next one, and let's see. I think we have one more. Okay. You want to do that one?
Okay. There are also voices that are unable to exist in the tension of who we are and what we believe, and who they desire us to be and what they desire of our beliefs. This is the life of a human, particularly a human with any concern for belonging or survival. This is by Cole Arthur Riley. This here flesh, spirituality, liberation, and the stories that make us.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Well, you just have to tell the voices to be quiet. You have to tune them out. And I've learned to allow for the voice that is the cheerleader within me,
mm-hmm.
to allow that to have more airtime.
That's beautiful. Yeah. It's not equal time. To me, they need more time, you know. And it's interesting because the more I listen to that still small voice, the other voices start to get quiet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because my focus is on that, the voice that doesn't yell, it doesn't scream. It's like, okay, Rodney, yeah, you are love, you are peace, you are joy, and that ego voice is the one that's trying to take control and take command and listen to me. Don't you hear what I'm saying? And I get to ignore that. I get to focus on what really the truth is, and not feel that tension, of the concern for belonging or survival. Shouldn't be full of tension. I say. I don't know about shouldn't, but we prefer for it not to be full of tension. I mean, there is normal stress. However, that tension and that being overly concerned wears at us. It really does, and it creates more doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
keeps us from looking beyond the doubt. So yeah, that voice is, we can let them go. All right. So, did you have any other comments about that quote?
Oh.
Okay, so let's see. I think we have what we call the contemplative question. And this is for everybody to take on during your days this week. And here it is. It says, as a community, what do we hide? What doubts and uncertainties might our One Love CSL or CSL Dallas or any of our communities, family circle or circle of friends address for the good of all? And so during your days, just take a look at what's not being said and what doubts and uncertainties have to be looked at. Not that you have to make changes, but just to look at it. Okay. And so that begins the conversation. That begins the opportunity to hear that still small voice say, well, yeah, let's take a look at that and what could happen for the good of all. Okay. I know for One Love, I just want to say, it's like, yeah, it'd be great for us to meet like once every few months, just to be in community, because we haven't met since the pandemic and people are scattered to the wind. And so, yeah, it's uncertain. We don't have what do we want to do about that? And leave the question out there to be answered. So anyway, that's what we all can get to work on. You don't have to report back. This is all contemplative. It's all within, and just play with that and see what develops. Something will develop. All right. So at this point, I'm going to take this down. And I did want to play a song because we spoke to it earlier. We spoke about using our power, right? We have the power. And so I'm going to play a song very quickly, and I know you'll all enjoy it. And because it's speaking, how do we say, truth to power. So just let me bring that up in just a moment. I had it right at my fingertips. And we're going to use the finger of God to point me in the direction. Okay. So this song is by a well-established practitioner named Patricia Watson, and it's a great song, and it's a great, wonderful little video, and I'm going to find it in just a moment. Well, that's interesting. I know it's here. Please stand by. Here it is. Okay. So we'll be right back. Enjoy this.
You got the power, you got the power, you got the power.
Yes, you got the power because you are the power. And to further accentuate that fact, we have some affirmations of truth. All right, so we're going to start as we normally do when there's an affirmation. For each affirmation, we do it twice. We take a breath, do the affirmation, do it again, and then move on to the next one. All right, so how about if I start? Okay, and the affirmation is here. So take a breath. It says, "It is so that I recognize my doubt as holy and productive." Let's take another breath. It is so that I recognize my doubt as holy and productive. And Reverend Faye.
Let's take a breath. It is so that my curiosity opens new pathways for healing, growth, and understanding. Take another breath. It is so that my curiosity opens new pathways for healing, growth, and understanding.
Okay, and the next one. Take a breath. It is so that I move beyond fear, allowing faith and community to guide my next brave step. Let's do that again. Take a breath and give a breath. It is so that I move beyond fear, allowing faith and community to guide my next brave step. And so it is, and now
it is.
Yes. All right. So at this point, I'm going to move into a treatment, a grounding treatment. Reverend Faye will invite you back. Don't go too far. Okay. All right. So, how wonderful it is to be in communion, in community, in dispelling doubt, knowing that there's only one power, one life, that life is God's life right here, right now, everywhere, equally present. And so, in this moment of now, how grateful I am to know that there are ways to supersede any doubt so that we can proceed for our greater yet to be. I know this is the truth for myself, the truth for all as one. And as one, I know that there is this power that is never relinquished, is never gone, it is seemingly hidden. However, I know it is always ready and available for each and every one to move through any doubt, any uncertainty, to bring forth any answer to any question. And of course, the main answer is always love and all the different ways that it shows up. And so I know that doubt is removed in relationships because there is love there. That is the foundation. That's the bottom of it all. And it is everywhere in between. That doubt is answered with truth, with love, with passion and compassion. And I know that when there's doubt that comes to finances, there is the assuredness of the Creator that all needs are met in time, on time, all the time, even before time. I am giving thanks for knowing that there is no doubt that the treasures of the queendom, of the kingdom, are available in the here and the now, that each one gets to name it and proclaim it and receive it, the good that is necessary to be about their purpose on the planet. I know this is a truth for health, that any doubt concerning health is the uncertainty that allows one to go within and know that every cell is operating at peak efficiency and that there is the mind within that guides each one to reveal exactly what is necessary and needed and available for perfect health to be revealed, to be restored. So I am knowing this and so much more for each and all, that any moments of doubt are temporary, replaced, and guided by that finger of the Most High that says yes, the direction of love, the direction of peace, of wholeness, of joy, of fun, and laughter, and appreciation, and all of that wrapped up in the gratitude of the knowingness that that power is always within and always ready and always available, and that the answer is always love. And for this, I give thanks, knowing this word spoken into law of divine right action is already returning full to overflowing for each and every one in the sound, in the hearing range of this voice, of this truth, and those who are catching this on the replay, on the video, on the recording. So I bless it all, because I know it is the infinite truth that says, yes, this word spoken into law is already manifesting, already showing up. And so I release it, knowing it is all good, already being done on earth as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in the mind of the Creator. I know it is so, happening even now. I affirm it by saying, and so it is, and now it is. Thank you, thank you. At this time, we're going to talk about prayer. And I know that who you see and what we are, and I believe Ellen is going to assist me in that. And Ellen, are you coming up? There she is. Ellen Suazo, our practitioner, who's okay.
Hey. So
Welcome.
Prayer. We are here at One Love Center. We have professional prayers ready and willing to know your truth for you. So you can connect with us. Remember, you can connect anytime at via email, or you can text us. You can see the email there and the phone number where you can reach us at 646-635-3344. So One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is the power, charged, and always and ready within you for your immediate use. So call us. Make sure that we pray for you for 7 days. And after 7 days, if everything has shifted, then you can let us know. But if things haven't changed the way you know in your heart that they should be, then you can get back to us and we will continue to pray for you for that situation. Other than that, we'll stop praying for that situation. Now remember that all your prayers are strictly confidential. One of us will take that prayer and we'll pray for you for 7 days. So make sure that you connect with us and we'll be more than happy to pray for you. And if you feel that you are needing further assistance, you can reach out as well for a practitioner session, which is even more powerful. And remember, no one is turned back because of funds. We are here to support you in any way that we can in your path. Also, at this time, we'd like to say thank you for your generosity, for all those people that have been sending your donations to One Love Center. And for those of you that this is your first time tuning in to One Love Center, whether you're right here now live or you're listening to this broadcast later on, you can feel free to go to onelovecenter.org, go to the donate button and click on the donation button. It's going to take you through the process to make your donations. And remember that any amount is welcome, is received with love. And we are knowing that that everything is multiplying for you and yours. So thank you very much for sending those funds. You can send those funds also via Cash App, and the symbol for the Cash App is CSL One Love. Money sign CSL One Love. That's the symbol for the Cash App. So thank you again. And now we invite you to the affirmation of abundance. So repeat with me, keep your hands in your heart, and that amount of funds that you are desiring to share with One Love Center. Money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gifts, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works this gives to in our center and in our world. And now it is, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right. Thank you, Ellen. And we're now going to do some announcements. And just give me a moment. Okay. So we have tech support. One Love Centers requesting a member or a friend of a member or anyone that you might know who wants to be involved for technical assistance in managing our broadcast. Please contact us to be of service. You can, again, you can reach us at onelovecenter.org, or you can call us at 646-685-3344. Okay, and that's for tech assistance. Also, what's also coming up, let me get rid of that, is the Science of Mind magazine. And this month, we're talking about divine doubt. Let me move that out the way. And so Science of Mind magazine, you get 2 months together in one as one issue. And there's a quote for today. And that's there as well. Also, whoops, I went too fast there. Here's the affirmation: I surrender and allow my new story to emerge. And that is powerful. This is presented the whole month by Reverend Christine Green. And if you want the Science of Mind magazine for free, just email us and we will put you on our email list and the list for you to receive 6 months free of the Science of Mind magazine. Okay, so you can do that as well. Also coming up, and Ellen, you want to speak to this?
Sure. So in July, we inviting you for July 21st to the 26th to attend the Convention of the Americas. I've been going there since 2015. It's an amazing family reunion. I call it a family reunion. You will be, I can tell you a lot of things about it. You could go to the website, www.conventionoftheamericas.org, and you can register for that convention, because what I know is that when you experience it yourself, you will not regret going to this convention. No one has ever said to me, you did not, the convention was not as good as you told me. Everyone I have told, they have gotten more than what I told them. So I invite you to come and be in family, be in a space of love, of unity, learning, having fun, having delicious food. So I tell you, I will be very happy to see you there. I'm going there. I'm going to be there. Rev Rodney is going to be there. Leda's going to be there. We will be celebrating Leda's practitioner. She's just became a practitioner this year, and we'll be celebrating her, and we will be celebrating Reverend Rodney as well. So come to the Convention of the Americas.
And as it says, early bird pricing is up until June 1st. So that's coming up soon.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So take advantage of that. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you there. Always a good party. I'll be celebrating my birthday there. So come on down.
Yes, yes.
All right. Also, we have the next conference. It's called the Celebrating Our Soul. Okay. It's the brought to you by the people of African Descent New Thought Group. I know Ellen went last time, and it's great. You know, you definitely have a wonderful, enriching time, as it says. And so it is just a wonderful opportunity to, as it says, participate in inspiring master classes, uplift your spirit with the heart expanding music, connections with people from all over the country and people from around the world. And actually, I'm just going to very quickly play a video of what you can expect. And you can, the Convention of the Americas, you can find them on YouTube, and they have a lot of videos about stuff happening there. All right, so let me just put this on very quickly.
The People of African Descent New Thought Group presents Celebrating Our Soul, Claiming Our Sacred Power at Unity Village from August 13th through 16th, 2026. This exclusive event hosts Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith of Agape International Spiritual Center, Brother Dr. Ishmael Tete from the Ethereum Mission in Ghana, meditation leader and teacher, professional sacred space holder, Reverend Paulette Pipe, and more. The People of African Descent New Thought Group once again brings you top quality masterclass presenters like Reverend Deborah Johnson, Master Practitioner Aisha Mason, Reverend Vernell Nelson, Jeffrey Noble, and more. Not only do we have empowering workshops, but the grounds and ambience are sublime. Yes, it is very hot in August in Missouri, but the best part is getting to enjoy the best that nature has to offer. You, your kids, and or your friends can enjoy the Unity Village Nature Trail, the short waterfall, the amazing labyrinth, or you can join the group that is going to the one and only Negro League Baseball Museum and the Jazz Museum. Even if you don't go to the cultural immersion and field day, you can stay on the grounds and enjoy pampering yourself with energy workers offerings, such as a massage or reflexology, Reiki, or pranic crystal healing. That's right, pamper yourself. The best price is now during early registration through March 31st. Don't delay. Register today at padntg.org. Be there.
All right. Definitely be there. There's a whole lot to be, places to be, things to do in this wonderful spiritual life we have. So I just want to thank you all for being here and bring Reverend Faye back. Come on back, Reverend Faye. There you are. All right. Okay. Just want to say thank you for sharing with us today. Next week, we're talking about doubt as devotion, questioning as an act of love. And you most certainly will learn how to ask the right question as an act of love. All right. So, any closing remarks, everyone?
Thank you all for having me and welcoming me into your space.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ellen, for being with us as well. I want to thank those who are watching online. I saw Leda Pérez, who could not be with us online, and also Cornelia Doe, who was like a second mother to me growing up. Thank you so much for watching. And to wonderful children, Lotus, Ann, and Kim. And I was just so pleased to see that you were joining us. And please feel free, everyone, to share this video. All right. And time for our closing prayer and closing song. And so we all get to say something brief about the truth of what's going on in life today for each and every one. So I am knowing that there's only one life, and that life is being lived in the here and the right now through by the wonderful grace of the divine, by the grace of God, by the grace of good. Knowing that the Creator has a master plan, and there is no doubt about that. And I pass my word.
I am knowing that each and every person that was part of this celebration today received the wisdom, the knowledge that their soul were ready to receive. And I'm also confirming and affirming that their week is a week of awakening, continual remembering of the true self, knowing that doubt is an invitation. Divine doubt is an invitation to more expression, more divine expression and receiving of all that their heart desires. And I pass.
And I add that the consciousness that creates all, that Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, creator and creation, the all in all, that it expresses in, as, and through each one of us, allowing itself to become aware of itself as us, as spiritual beings, allowing us to breathe into the doubt and exhale out the truth, remembering who we are and whose we are, that all is well, that we do have the power, and that truth always, spiritual truth always prevails.
Yes.
And I give thanks for this. I let it go and let it be, and we affirm it together by saying, and so it
And
is,
so it
and now
is.
it is.
And now it is. Thank you. Stick around, folks, for our closing song, and then we'll be right back with our final goodbye.
There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the one love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. Whoa. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. Through our prayer and meditation, joyous sacred celebration, we give thanks for all we are. Every soul has come so far. Love in action, service true, the divine spirit that is you. We're awakening, can't you see? Living love and living free. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah.
Well, okay.
It's a great song.
It's a great song. It's a great truth. Peace and blessings, everyone. We'll see
Peace
you
and
next
blessings.
week. Thank you, Reverend Faye. Thank you for finding your way to join us today. And let's do it again sometime, okay? All
Yes.
right. Blessings to you and your community there in
Thank
CSO
you.
Dallas. And tell everybody we said hello here at One Love in Brooklyn, New York. And Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where Ellen is. All right. Peace and blessings.